Hi, my name is Davey. I'm a careers advisor at Cheshire College, and I'm here today to give you my top 5 tips for doing your CV. So, number 1 is tailor your CV. Can you see that right? Yeah. So, tailor your CV. Basically, what it is when you're applying for a job, you will have, it will tell you a bit about the job, and then it will have something called a job spec attached to it. And that job spec has all the key things that they want to see in somebody to be able to give them the job. You need to make sure that you've gone through the job spec that's attached to the job advert, and that you've made sure that all the essential things that they're asking for, you've made sure that you've put something about those in your CV. And the reason is because what they do is they look through your CV and they kind of tick off everything that every time that you mention something that's on that list. And if you've managed to tick off pretty much everything, then you are very likely to get an interview. So if, for example, it says one of the things is that you need to have, say, good IT skills, you need to mention how and where you've got good IT skills from in your CV. So that's my number 1 tip for tailoring your CV. Number two is personal statement. Now, I always recommend that in your CV you have a little section which is called personal profile or personal statement, and in that section you can just say why it is that you are right for the job, because the rest of it is all things like what qualifications you've got, and any other achievements. But in that section, again, thinking about that job spec, you can just put, so that it's really obvious to people, a few things that kind of like say why you're perfect for the job. So in this personal profile here, this person said, I have excellent attendance and punctuality at college, currently 98%, which proves that I'm reliable and organised. So obviously if it's said in that job spec that they want someone that's reliable and organised, and let's face it, pretty much every job wants someone like that, they can mention it in there and they can prove it by saying they've got 98% attendance at the college. So it's a really, really great little section. And also you can put things like in there, like for example, so you're only looking for a part-time job, you can mention that in there and say what days you're available. You can put any other skills that you've learnt, or say talk about how you've got lots of energy, or you're good with working with new people, about how good you are working in a team and things like that. So it's a really good little section to just put the key reasons why you're perfect for the job. Okay, number 3. Number 3 is what I should be doing. Be concise. Basically, if you imagine that you were to hand in a CV that was 6 pages long, I really feel like there's a high chance that the person isn't going to look through it all. And especially if you're going for one of your first jobs, because you might put down a couple of your previous jobs or some work experience that you've had. But all in all, it's unlikely to go to more than 2 sides. And that's really ideal. Ideally, you want it to be no more than 2 sides long. So this one here is 1 side and a bit of the other side. And that's perfect, because no one's going to wade through pages and pages and pages. So make sure it's got the information on it, but you're not waffling, it's not going on too long. Okay, so that's tip number 3, which was be concise. Tip number 4, please. My tip number 4 is to proofread your CV. Basically, you don't know what you don't know, which is basically that if you don't know the difference between they are and their, you're going to make that mistake and you'll never ever spot it. So what you need is somebody that's pretty good at English to look over your CV. It could be a parent, it could be an uncle and aunt, it could be a brother or sister that's really great at English, and you want them to look over it and just mark up any time that you've made a mistake, where you've not put a capital, where you've not put a space after a colon, anytime you've made, and make sure that you do the same thing consistently all the way through. So say you put address, colon, space, and then you put your address, and then you put your phone number, make sure your phone number's got a colon and a space, so you do the same thing all the way through. So you need someone to look over it and make sure it looks professional, it looks tidy, it looks clean, and that there's no mistakes and you've not made any spelling mistakes or grammatical mistakes in it. Basically, you could do with really getting a couple of people to look over it like that, because even if you give it to one person, they might miss something, and then the second person might catch something. And it only takes 5 minutes, so make sure you get someone to proofread it. And our last one is number 5, which is, if you're in any doubt, come and see your careers advisor. Basically, you can contact us on Teams or by email at the moment, because we're obviously working from home, and we'll get straight back to you. So if you're in any doubt, any worries, you want any advice at all, then all you need to do is give us a shout. We can look over your CV, we can make any changes, advise you on any changes that we think would help, or if there's any sections you don't understand, you can let us know, and obviously we'll go through it with you. So any problems at all, talk to us at the careers at Cheshire College, and we will help you. And I hope that's been a helpful session for you on some top tips about how to do your CV. Thanks very much. Bye.